Scotty from Rabbit Ridge Farm. So you're probably wondering, what is the big red wagon behind the tractor and what's coming out of it? So that's a grinder. We grind our hay here for the cattle. We top it with a little mixed 30 liquid feed, which is a natural protein and fat source, just to kind of help the hay out, to give them some of the things that they're missing out on by not having green grass. So you're probably saying, what's the advantage of grinding? Well, right here is really the main advantage. It makes the hay so much more palatable. It's so soft and it's ground up, and that's really important for an older cow that's having getting a few years on her, and her teeth aren't as good as what they used to be. A cow pulling from a hard bale of hay really wears out the teeth prematurely on a cow, and our older cows produce the best calves here, and as you can tell, most of our cows, or all of our cows, are in great body condition, and they give a lot of milk, and they do better when they don't have to work so hard in order to get their nutrients. We're on our last field of grass, so technically we started feeding these cows every day last week. So you ask a farmer, when did you start feeding hay? Well, hay feeding starts, feeding a bale or two along before you start in earnest. Does that make sense? So now these cows are getting fed every other day, and we don't like to feed hay. When we start feeding hay, that's when there's just not any profit in a cow. So our goal is to graze about 300 days a year, and we have ryegrass and turnips and that sort of thing for these cows to move on to, but we're going to wait until after the first of the year before we turn them in on the green stuff. Now, all these cattle out here are all bred. They've all been preg checked. Their calves from last year have been weaned. These cows will start calving around the end of March. We used to like to start at the 1st of March, and we got taught a lesson last year by all the snow that we got on the 1st of March and trying to have calves and that sort of thing. So these cows will start about the 1st of March. They're going to calve for 64 days. The bull was left in here with them for 64 days, and that gives a cow 3 different chances of going through her heat cycle in order to be bred. And we only had one cow that didn't breed back, so that's pretty good numbers. Pretty proud of that. Cows have to be in good body condition in order to breed back, and we focus on that all year long. It's hard to keep a cow fat, but if they're in good health, they don't have a heavy parasite load, and they've got the right groceries in front of them, it's not a big deal. Cows are ruminant animals, so they're able to stay fat on grass, and as you know, we're grass farmers, so managing our grass is something that we manage like a bank account. We have a plan that how we're going to graze the cattle. I know in 2 weeks where the cows are going to be, and what land that we're going to be resting and letting it recover from grazing. And right now these cows are going to be here probably until the 1st of the year. Sometime in January we'll turn them in on our green stuff and do some management, intensive grazing, and get ready for the spring. Now, when we run out of grass, we dry lot our cattle, so we don't want a cow walking all over the farm looking for a blade of grass to eat, and so we like to condense our cattle into a smaller pasture. Makes them easier to take care of, and it's better for the rest of the farm because the cattle aren't out there compacting the soil and pugging it down and making a mess. We only have one place to clean up, and by putting these cattle here, what we've seen on this dry lot pasture is we have improved our stand of clover immensely. So when we get these cows off in January and the clover really starts out, starts growing, this field will be, I mean, basically 100% white clover. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. I enjoyed telling you a little bit about how we feed cattle in the winter, and I'm always up for talking about how we raise cattle and the different ways that there are to do it, and I always love to share our ways. So enjoyed it. Come by the farm, see us, 484 Rabbit Ridge Road, www.rabbitridgefarm.com, and check us out. Come see us. We always looking for visitors. See you until next time.